Hello there, 2 days and I will turn 73. So I thought I would start off the poetry reading today with a few poems about my children when they were little tiny babies. I'm going to read to you from one of my books. We'll start off with Lewis, which there he is. Child having a child, intimidated and overwhelmed, unsure of myself, how to care for you, insisting your aunt and grandmother bathe you those first few weeks, terrified I would drop that slippery, wiggly little body of yours into the soapy water of our kitchen sink. We spent the first few months of your life in Ona's home, a safe house, our safe place. First grandchild, first great-grandchild, as I had been a mere 19 years before. We were mesmerized by you, your first words, precocious child, first steps at 9 months, that adorable smile, your independence, our firstborn. And then, who came along? On a chilly October evening, 1 year after Lewis, came Carl. Oh, he was a difficult one. Unable to digest food, I spent many a night walking the floor, careful not to awaken his big brother or his father who had school in the morning. In time, normalcy kicked in. Food and formula worked. Oh, I was a busy young mommy with 2 little ones under the age of 2, the year we realized special needs would color our lives forever. And then, and just as life settled down, what do you know? Another little one on the way. Destiny, my 3 sons. Christopher, completing the trio. I can still hear the nurses shouting, "Quick, get her into delivery. She was here just a few months ago." Football, huge shoulders, ouch. The living image of his grandfather Pick, our little spoonbill. A delightful baby who instinctively knew I had my hands full. Sleeping through the night, happy all day, immediately part of the gang, with the ability to curl himself around every finger and every heart he encountered. And then, oh my word, there she is. 5 years later, we asked the boys, how would you like to have a baby sister? Never in a million years believing we could produce a gender other than male. Miracle of miracles, it happened. Bittersweet delivery because Daddy was on the other side of the world in Vietnam. Mothers do love fussing over their daughters. Clothes and hair, growing up fair, Beth, my little Bethy boo-boo. Me, Mommy Moo-Moo. Destined for torture by brothers who protected her, loved her with all their might. We were complete. We had it all. And then another one about all 4 of them. 3 peas in a pod, 3 musketeers, never far apart. The greatest of buddies. Yes, there were times they caught him alone, no brother or sister around to run interference, to shield him from the laughing, the pointing, the bullying. But those times were few and far between. Kids knew not to mess with this boy. His siblings simply would not tolerate it. Another one about Beth. We dressed you like a princess. Then you decided to have terrible 2 tantrums, tearing off every shred of clothing, red-faced, screaming. We simply carried you outside wherever we happened to be. A tiny fashion plate you were. Those fake white leather go-go boots we had to remove in the middle of the night, afraid your feet were going to rot off. You learned to roller skate in our kitchen, swallowed a bit of floor polish, visit to the ER, caught your foot in the spokes of my bike, horrifying, dancer, flautist, gymnast, every endeavor, perfection. And one more from the old days. This is war stories. You tell me your war stories, I'll tell you mine. about how I treasure time measure. Let me start again. You tell me your war stories, I'll tell you mine, about how I measure time before Vietnam, after Vietnam, about how I know he does too, how both of us were damaged, unable to pick up the shattered pieces, how others were damaged, about how we made it through separately as parents, grandparents, friends, about coming full circle, creating another kind of love. And then I'll read to you a few more recent. She cannot disguise nor obscure with lace the passion in her eyes, wanting him a fatal flaw. From beneath the mask, an acquiescing glance, anything you ask, surrender, veiled in a web of lace. I spoke the words you needed, you were fragile in deep pain. Adore you, I love you, won't leave you, each time a hollow refrain. I knew that full disclosure would never come to fore, life predictable and routine, feelings we chose to ignore. Inflicting serious damage, suppressing the truth, I lied. Hurt and pain and anguish, a part of us both had died. Given the chance, I'd search deeper, my psyche, my heart, my soul, examine my motives, behavior, pray once again you are whole. If I were chain armor, will I become invincible? If I don cape and mask, will I develop superpowers? If I take on the majesty of the giant redwood, will I gain substance? If I become one with a booming wave, will I silence evil in the world? Tell me what to do. Peel me, petal by petal, until you reach my very essence. This is where my heart hides, secrets buried under layers of shame. Scatter my petals, toss them to the winds. Unburdened, I am free. We'll stop for there and start again in a few minutes.